Hello, everybody. Hello. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Hopefully my phone does not fall. Hi. So, one thing that makes myself very authentic, I'm very punctual, and if I am not on time or early, I have a conniption fit. So, hey, I'm gonna wait a few minutes. I know I'm right at 7. I said 7-ish. I have a brand new baby boy, so I did not know what was going to be going on in the house, but I have locked myself in my office, so hopefully the house does not fall to pieces with me being in here. So, as you guys hop on, say hey. If you are in my team or my group, you know that I do not like talking to myself, so I hope everyone's having a wonderful Tuesday. So I will wait about a minute, 7:01. I will start at 7:02. Just to give people a chance to hop on. Hopefully my phone is good. Can everyone hear me good? I had to do like an update or something. It kept kicking me out of my Facebook app. And for whatever reason, I can't figure out how to go live on Facebook on my computer. So here we are. All right. So wait a little bit longer and then we will get started. I am so excited to have the opportunity to speak with you guys about being authentic. And yeah, hopefully you guys get some good golden nuggets from this. Said some prayers right before I hopped on here. I would be lying if I said I was not nervous, but nothing grows out of comfort zone. So, and if you're, once again, team group, I say do it scared all the time. So yeah, all right, it is 7:02. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Amber Ryan. I am the Superstar Director of Feet to Faith out of Wilmington, North Carolina. Used to be Amber Willoughby if you have been with Cincy for a while. I joined Cincy in April 2016 and never realized what Cincy would be for me. And let's see, last August, I just want to kind of lay it out for you guys. I was a special education teacher. Last August, I left teaching full-time to do Cincy full-time. So it's been a wonderful journey. So excited for all of our friends that are on the Alaska cruise right now. I just had a baby boy May 15th, so we decided to do the payout and decided it was probably not a good idea to go on a cruise that soon after having a baby. So he will be 2 months old on Friday, which is crazy. Time is flying, but enough about me. I just kind of wanted to lay that down for you guys. So I'm going to be talking about branding and authenticity. I'm going to touch a lot on authenticity. Like I said, I used to be a teacher, so I can talk a lot. I have notes in front of me. I squirrel a lot if I don't have notes. So if this is too long and winded, I'm sorry, but I have a lot to say about this topic. I think it's very, very important. I know Mallory talked about that last night. This is one of those things, like she said, it's not touched on enough, but authenticity is so important, okay? So I'm going to touch a lot on authenticity, then I'm going to talk about branding a little bit, and then since I was a teacher, I'm going to have like a homework nugget. You don't have to do it, but I think it'd be really, really good for you guys to do this exercise that I'm going to share with you at the end. So without further ado, 3 main focus points to start. Number 1, I want you to know this, I want you to believe this, and I want you to ingrain this in your head. If you need to put it in Expo marker on your mirror, okay? Listen to me. You are you, and that is your superpower. You are you, and that is your superpower. There is not a single person on this earth, of God's green earth, that can take your superpower being you away from you, okay? There is no other person that has your DNA. There is no other person that can duplicate you. Even if you're a twin, they can't be you, right? They're not identically like you. So you are you, and that is your superpower. Number 2, comparison is the thief of all joy. Comparison is the thief of all joy. You will not have joy and you will not have peace if you are always looking at somebody else saying they can do it better than me, they're better than me, why can't I do it like them? Comparison is the thief of all joy. Worry about yourself, okay? And soak in that uniqueness that only you have, okay? Number 3, this is very important. We are not in high school and we are not in mean girl cliques, okay? God made each of us uniquely different, with different likes, different skills, different talents, different traits. And that's what makes this world wonderful. That's what makes Cincy wonderful, because we don't have it all together. We don't have all the skills that all of our teammates have. We don't have all of it figured out, right? So when we come together and we blend together and we're able to work together as a team and a group, that's what makes this wonderful. I think that this group is so wonderful because when Mallory did a post in the SSD page asking if anybody wanted to share, I think it's wonderful. All of us that are going to be sharing over these next few weeks, all of us that are going to be sharing, whether we know each other personally, whether we've met at events, whether we've done this, that, and the other, we're still coming together to make this happen. You guys are showing up and you're sharing with your teams. We all have different backgrounds, right? We all have different just uniqueness and authenticity about us. And I want you guys to remember that. And yes, Tara, we're not in cliques. This isn't cliquey. This is not, and I say Mean Girls because if you think about the movie Mean Girls, where they're going into the lunchroom in the cafeteria and they're sitting there in all the cliques, right? They're sitting there and they're sitting there with the jocks and they're sitting there with the art people. They're sitting there with the cheerleaders, with the football players. That's not what this is about. Cincy's a family, okay? And you have your unique authenticity piece of the puzzle that fits in whether you think it does or not, okay? So don't ever think that you don't have something to add and value to add, okay? So kind of an icebreaker real quick because, like I said, teacher background, okay? I want you guys, 36 of you are watching, I want you guys to answer these 2 questions. First question, when you see a video or a picture of Heidi Thompson, okay, what hand motion and gesture, I'm putting my hands down, does she always do? Okay? What hand motion gesture, she does one thing with her hands that she is always doing in videos. If you have been around since they were doing end of month lives before they went to England, what hand motion does she always do? I'm going to wait till I see it in the comments. Okay, Jessica, yep. Okay, Alex. All that too. She does do that too. Okay, so Heidi always does this with her hands. And there's actually an emoji that is this, okay? I want you to think about that. Think about how authentic that is. Authenticity is as simple as doing a hand gesture with a heart. Everybody knows that Heidi does this, right? Okay. Second question, I want you to answer this, okay? I might be showing my age here a little bit. On the show Home Improvement, what does the neighbor next door always hide behind? On the show Home Improvement, it's not around anymore. What does the neighbor, his name was Wilson, always hide behind? Okay. The fence. He's always behind the fence. Okay, so when you think Heidi Thompson, and you think at the end of videos, at the end of pictures, whatever she's doing, she's always doing this, right? And then when you think about, just think about another person, you think about Wilson, his face is always covered, okay? That is authentically those people, okay? I don't know why his face was always covered. That's for a whole nother topic. We talk about that a lot in my house for whatever reason. But I want you to think about this in the same way that you think about those things when it comes to Heidi and Wilson. You have to be yourself and catch people's attention somehow, okay? So we're going to be talking about that throughout, but that makes them authentically themselves, okay? So also keep this in mind. Who you follow on social media and think that has it all together does not have it all together, okay? And I want you to think about this in the same way that you present yourself on social media, okay? Social media is a wonderful tool. I love social media. I think it is a great way to keep everybody together. I think it's a wonderful tool. But I want you to remember that how you show up on social media a lot of times is a highlight reel. And it's the same way for people that you might be looking at thinking, hey, they have it all together. Nobody has it all together. Okay? So I want you to stop aspiring to be them. I want you to stop aspiring to be, whatever person it is that you look up to. I want you to stop aspiring to be them, and I want you to focus that energy instead internally, and I want you to really, truly, authentically figure out who you are. That's what we're going to spend this time together trying to, dig into this tonight and then this week whenever the other speakers are going to. You're giving somebody else way too much credit for what they do whenever you should be giving yourself credit, okay? So focus on how to be the best, Tina, Mallory, Crystal, Angela, Amber. Focus on that and internally work on that rather than looking at the next person, okay? I want us to learn how to be okay with who we are and do it, okay? Another nugget, use your authentic and imperfect life to your advantage, okay? If you wake up tomorrow morning and you think that you have it all together and you go to the coffee maker and there is no coffee, and you go to get, a Mountain Dew out of the fridge, you drop it and the can busts open, okay? That is an imperfect life, right? My husband the other morning, I wasn't even going to talk about this. My husband the other morning, I don't even know what was going on, but he literally was like, I'm about to get back in bed because he was doing everything he was doing. It was falling on the floor. My son's passy fell on the floor, I think 4 times. He had his monster can in his mouth. I don't even know why. It dropped all over the floor. That's the mess that happens behind the scenes, right? That makes you authentically you. It is not something that is going to be always shown on social media, but authentically you, okay? That was sidetrack. I squirrel a lot. That was not on my notes. So y'all are seeing who I am authentically, okay? If you are being you, you are building a relationship and trust with people, okay? But if you are not being you, people can see right through that. This is why it is so important to be authentic, okay? I don't have it all together. If you follow me on social media, I do not have it all together, and I am the first one to say that. I show that a lot on social media because I think it's really important. I did curl my hair for you guys. My hair got washed the other day. My hair gets washed once a week, and that's why it looks good. But if my hair hadn't been washed, it would probably be on top of my head for this training, okay? Just so happened to be washed on Sunday, so you guys get fresh hair. But if you are not being real, the people who, and I'm talking a lot about social media right now, because I feel like that's where we have a lot of influence with our customers, with our team, with our group. Not a lot of us are in person around each other locally. If you have been with Cincy for a while, you might have a really big team. You might have team, all over the United States. That's why I'm really focusing on social media. But if you're not being you and say that you're trying to, whoever this is that you're putting on a pedestal and you're aspiring to be like them and you're trying to be like them and you're robbing yourself of your authentic traits that only you have, you're not going to be able to keep that up. Okay? You're not going to be able to keep up with the Joneses that you've tried to be like for so long. When shit hits the fan, sorry for my French, you're not going to be able to figure it out because you're not being yourself. You have to be true to yourself. Okay? That's why it's so important to be authentic. You have to figure out who you are and do it on purpose. I can't remember who said that. Dolly Parton. Somebody famous said that. I said, figure out who you are and do it on purpose. Okay? You got to be you. You have to share the mess. Okay? Your kids, your dogs, your cleaning, your daily life, okay? Somebody said to me the other day, and I cannot remember who it was one of my customers, and they said, you know what, I really enjoy watching you on social media. Keep posting, please. Okay, I share a lot about my son now, but she said, I love that you don't just share Scentsy, you share everything. Okay, and that's a part of being authentic, and that's being a part of my brand in a way. Because I have kind of taken a step back and I say, okay, well, this is what I say. I say I have to share Scentsy at least one time in my stories. One time per day. I don't care what it is. In my head, this is what I tell myself. I have to share Scentsy some way, somehow, in my stories at least one time a day. Everything else, y'all get for free. Okay? Everything else, I'm putting my life in there. Social media is not the end all be all. It is not the way of the world, but I share authentically on my social media. Okay? So, for example, if I was to show changing my pod in my mini fan diffuser in my car and changing out my scent circle, then I have shared at least one time for the day. Or if I have shared changing my wax, or if you follow me, I call cotton cleanups wax tampons. That's what they are. I came up with a catchy term to call them that, okay? So my customers know, gosh, you call it a wax tampon. Oh, that makes sense. It really does soak up the wax. Okay, you get what I'm saying. So I'm sharing that I love vacuuming. I'm sharing my Dyson. I love vacuuming. I vacuum at least one time a day. I'm sharing my crazy dog. I'm sharing the mess out of my little boy. I don't know. Just share authentically, okay? People can relate to you if you are sharing who you are, okay? So, be relatable for connection. You have a whole network. You have customers, you have future teammates. Whether you know it or not, people are watching you, okay? Do it authentically. So remember this too. I don't care how long you've been doing Scentsy, okay? If you just joined yesterday, I know this is wide open to a lot of different people. If you just joined yesterday, you joined last month, you joined 6 years ago, you're not better than anybody else, and we can all learn from each other, okay? So be humble when you're being your authentic self, and know that we all can learn from each other. And it's kind of a heart check too. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. So I already said this, but once again, you are a piece of a puzzle that no one else can duplicate, okay? You are born authentic and unique. Do not rob yourself. Do not rob yourself of your authentic true self by trying to be somebody else. And that's something that is going to go, in life. That's something in Scentsy, especially in this business. You want to stand out. What makes you stand out? And we're going to kind of, move into this. And it really is what they are. Sorry, I'm reading the comments. It really is what they are. That's why I call them that. Okay, so I want us to think about a couple things. When we are trying to figure out who we are, okay, if you're literally like, Amber, I don't know who I am. I have nothing interesting about myself. Okay, we're going to do an exercise, okay? Like I said, Teacher Amber, I love Scentsy because I still can kind of teach. So y'all just bear with me. If you have a piece of paper and a pen, this might be the time to write some stuff down, okay? So I want us to think about these things when we're trying to figure out who we are. Number one, who are you on the outside? When somebody looks at you, okay? Physically, when somebody looks at you, I'm not talking about physical traits. I'm not talking about any of that. When somebody looks at you and they're like, okay, well, she's a teacher. She's a wax boss, whatever, okay? What are you? Okay, so I'm going to give you examples of myself. I'm a daughter. I'm a wife. I'm a sister. I'm a friend. I'm a mom. I'm a dog mom. I'm a Christian. I'm a plant lover. I'm a beach fanatic. Grew up at the beach. I'm an ECU alumni. I'm a Scentsy wax slinger. I'm a retired teacher because of Scentsy. I am type A OCD clean freak. That is in my stories. People said when I had a kid that was going to go away. Nope, it has not. It has not gone away, okay? I love vacuuming. I already said that a few times. I love cheetah, I love black, and I love neutral colors, okay? That is me. There's probably a lot of other things that I forgot, but when I was thinking of stuff to share with you guys, that is me, okay? So I want you to think about this. Think about this like right now. Just jot some things down. What makes you you, okay? What makes you you? I love country music. I love rap music. I can literally go from listening to Luke Bryan to the next song being DaBaby, to the next song being Stevie Nicks, okay? This is just who I am as a person, okay? I get bored really easily with my hair. My hair has been black. My hair has been a purplish red. My hair has been blonde. My hair has been balayage. I've had highlights, okay? Just think about what makes you you, okay? What makes you you? When people see you on social media and in person, are you the same person? Are you displaying yourself as trying to be like the Joneses on social media, but when you're in person, you're not? Are you displaying yourself as this big extrovert on social media, but in person, you're an introvert? Think about that. I am an extrovert, if you guys can't tell, okay? I'm a very extreme extrovert. That's something that makes me me as well. I'm a fire sign. I am extroverted to the core. So when you see me in person, I might be a little reserved at first, but then I'm extroverted. I'm the same thing. What you see is what you get. I wear my heart on my sleeve. Okay, that makes me me. You think about what makes you you. Embrace what makes you you. Because like I said, you are authentic. You are authentic. You are authentic. Authenticity goes a very long way, okay? Number 2, who are you on the inside? Okay, we're not thinking about like physical traits, like who you are. Who are you on the inside? This is a heart check, okay? So for me, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I do not have a poker face. I try to be understanding in all situations. I put on here, I'm an extrovert to the core, and I can be stubborn, real stubborn. I'm punctual. So what characteristics are you, okay? That also makes you who you are. So who you are on the outside and who you are on the inside is what comes together like puzzle pieces and makes you who you are authentically. And this is who you display yourself to be. This is who you are, who you genuinely are, okay? Nobody can take that away from you. And I really want us to get to being authentic because it's very, very, very important. All right, number 3, vulnerability and realness makes you relatable. And you guys might be thinking like, Amber, where is this going with Scentsy? I promise you that if in the front of every single catalog, I said this to my team the other night, the front of every single catalog, our core values, simplicity, authenticity, generosity. If it is one of our core values, it's very important to be authentic. It is very important to be authentic, okay? If you didn't know that already, it's one of our 3 core values, okay? So what is vulnerability? Vulnerability is becoming susceptible to physical or emotional attack or harm. Vulnerability is being susceptible to physical or emotional attack or harm. If you are being vulnerable, that means that something could possibly bad happen or go wrong, okay? So when you're being vulnerable and you're being real, you are allowing things to possibly come in that may or may not go right, that may or may not be exactly what you wanted to happen, but by golly, when you lay your head down at night, you are being real, you are being vulnerable, and you are being authentic, okay? You need to share the struggles and not just the highlights. When you're talking to your team or your group, do they know that it's okay to not be okay? Do they know that you don't have it all together? Do they know that sometimes life's hard? Can I get an amen? Life is hard. Do they know that they can come to you? Do they trust you? Be vulnerable. Be real. Be honest. We're all human. You can be brave and you can be afraid at the same time. Coming on here and going live is very scary. I said it right when I got on here. I will never, ever, ever play like talking to a bunch of people, even though it is through a phone, is easy. Okay? It's something that's taken a lot of practice, but it's still very hard. It's challenging. I don't know I don't know most of the people that are on here right now. And I just said that to you guys. You guys don't know me from Adam. But I'm going to show up every single time in any situation, vulnerable, real, and honest. Okay? So, embrace all of you and all that you are and share it with the world. We have a platform with Scentsy. We have a platform to change lives, whether it's a customer. We have the opportunity to change their lives with fragrance, to provide safe fragrance in their lives. We have the opportunity to help people financially. We have so much to offer with the Scentsy opportunity. Don't forget that, but it starts with you. You are a walking billboard for your business. Okay? So at the end of the day, the one thing that all of us have in common is we are Scentsy consultants. What is making you stand out? Are you being authentically you? Because if somebody looks at my story and they're like, oh my gosh, she really likes plants and she has a boxer and she's a mom, maybe they're going to message me. They might not message me about Scentsy, but guess what? We can start talking about Scentsy once we have a relationship. Is your team able to connect with you because you're being authentic and they're like, oh my gosh, her office is an absolute disaster. Mine is too. That's okay. That's okay. We'll get it together sometimes, but right now that's not a priority for me. My OCD is another situation, but everything has a place and we're good right now, okay? Why is this important? People will listen to people who are real, okay? Nobody can relate to perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. No such thing as perfect. I don't know what your religion is, but mine is Jesus, and Jesus is the only one who is perfect. So you're not perfect. Be relatable, be vulnerable, and be real, okay? You will attract what you put out. Your customers will realize you're human, and your team and group will realize that you're human when you're being real. When you're showing up and you're not all put together and you don't have makeup all over your face and your hair isn't looking like you just walked out of a runway, and you're showing up with your glasses on your face, your hair on top of your head, and you're doing a live because you need to, because you still want to work, because you're still going to show up even though it's hard, because you're still going to show up authentically you, because nobody can take that away from you. Okay? You are not a carbon copy of somebody else. Remember that with authenticity. You are not the old school order forms that when I write on them, it goes through to the other piece of paper and it's kind of dull, right? Because when you're not being authentic and you're not being yourself, you're a dull version of somebody else. You're a dull version of somebody else when you're sitting there trying so hard to mimic what you were not made to be. When you were not made to be that person. You weren't put on this earth to be that person. Okay? You're not a carbon copy. You're an original copy. You are an original copy. Okay? If you are faking who you are, it's going to crash at some point. Remember that. Be authentic. Be authentic, be authentic, be authentic. Okay. Now, does anyone have questions about authenticity? Because I'm about to flip over to branding, which still kind of goes with authenticity. But we're going to switch gears. I told you I like Cheetah. I also like wine. All So, switching over, because authenticity goes hand in hand with branding. So, when we think about branding and marketing, okay, does your branding scream you? Does your branding look like you? And this goes way, way back to when you're making a post, okay? And think about how somebody texts. This is what I like to think about. Think about how somebody texts. I am a texter, and my husband hates it. I do not put everything in one paragraph. I do lines. Because when it pops in my head, I'm like, oh, I need to send that again. Oh, I need to send that. Oh, sorry. And then I've sent like 6 different texts, okay? That is me. That is authentically me. So when you think about your branding, you think about when you're doing posts. Let's start there. When you're doing posts and you are copying and pasting exactly what somebody else said, that is not authentic, okay? It is not authentic whenever you're typing and it's something that doesn't even sound like what you would say, okay? So remember that. So jumping into branding, I want you to think about this. I want you to think about, and this was actually one of the exercises that I know a lot of you guys have done for week 1. It goes as simple as, what is your favorite color? What looks like you? Okay, I said this to my team the other day. This is not me. This is not me. I am not rainbows. I like rainbows. I like colors, but that's not me. Okay, this is not me. This is not me. All the colors. Okay, that is not me. So when you think about my branding, and when I was trying to come up with my branding, or like the other day when I was trying to figure out what I wanted my fall and winter catalog labels to look like, I'm not going to put rainbows on there. I love color, but that's not my branding, okay? My branding is neutral. So think about this. What is your favorite color? Are you a glitz and glam person? Are you a sparkly person? Are you a neutral person? Are you a black person? What is it that screams you? So I'm going to show you some examples of what is amber, okay? So when my customers see this, when my teammates see this, they're like, oh yeah, that looks just like something that Amber would do, because it is me. This is my catalog label for spring and summer. It's very neutral. Mauve, I love the mauve color, tan, all that. Here are some of my flyers. You can see they're very simple. They're very neutral. Here are my labels for the fall and winter catalog, okay? So think about that. What screams you? Because when I think of some people, and I'm just gonna say Wendy Heath Newgass, I think glitz and glam sparkles. So if I see something that she posts that is her branding, it better be sparkly and it better be bright and just extravagant, because that's what I think of when I think of her. Okay. Are you, let's see, that does not go with that. Okay. Also, with branding, are you marketing your own stuff, or are you constantly using flyers that somebody else has used? We are in some wonderful groups. There are some wonderful groups that a lot of people share a lot of different stuff. And don't get me wrong, it is very nice and easy to just always use something somebody else uses. But Canva is a free app, and Canva is a free website that you can go on and you can create your own stuff. There's so many different things. There's Photify too, Word Swag. There's several different things that you can use. Maybe challenge yourself to be authentically you and go on and create something that looks like you. Go on there and make it bright and sparkly and shiny, because that's who you are as a person. Make your brand look like you. Authenticity, okay? Think about that. That's what I use with mine. I go on Canva. I actually just got the pro version last year, and I finally figured out after a few months how to make my own stuff, because you have to play around with it a bunch. but make it authentically look like you, to where all your stuff looks the same. It kind of flows and it brands you very, very well. Do the colors look like you? Does the font look like you? Slap a picture of yourself on there, your family, your dog, whatever you need to do to make it authentic and to look like you. Authenticity goes a very long way. For me, like I said, with neutral stuff, I literally search on there neutral. I will search like neutral blobs, like the blob that goes behind some fonts, neutral templates that are on there. I love neutral. I love simplicity. And so I want that to be kind of pouring out of my skin. I want that to show in my branding. I want my team and my customers to see that that's who I am as a consultant. And I already hit on that, but back to kind of copying and pasting. When you're copying and pasting, you're not sounding like yourself. Listen to me. People can see that. I cannot tell you how many times, y'all, I live, so Wilmington, North Carolina, that's where I'm from. I live right outside of Wilmington in Leland, North Carolina. It's literally 5 minutes over the bridge. And there are a lot of Scentsy consultants around me. And when you have somebody who is friends on Facebook and Instagram with the same Scentsy consultants, right? They have a lot of different friends and they see the same flyers come through and they see the same copy and paste verbiage coming through. It puts a bad taste in their mouth. Stand out. Take the picture of your stuff. Snap a selfie. Be authentic. Y'all better believe if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, I don't even know what we're going to do yet, but you better believe you're going to see my face with this catalog. You're going to see my son with this catalog. You're going to see my face with the new bars. Do something to stand out. Be authentic with it. You can use other people for ideas. I do that all the time. I'm like, oh, I really like what they did. I'm going to turn it around and make it amber. Okay? So, when you're writing, you guys probably have verbiage that you use all the time. For me, I say the word boo. I say honey. I put capitals a lot. I use dashes a lot. I use spaces randomly. Make it authentically you. You are you, and that is your superpower. Okay? Remember that. So, that is, wow, I did that all very, very quick. Okay. So, does anybody have any questions as far as authenticity and branding goes before I give you your little homework nugget? Because I went through that pretty quick. I am impressed. The most important thing that you can do is just be you and figure it out. Be yourself and figure it out while you're going. Because you're going to figure it out because you're being you, right? All right, I don't see anything coming through. I know there's a delay. But your homework nugget, okay, is what I want you to do. And this actually was like an exercise, I guess, a lot of people used to do. I haven't seen it in a while on Facebook, but I used to see this as people's statuses. So I want you guys to ask some of your closest people to you, okay? Closest people to you. I don't care if it's your husband, your best friend, your coworkers, could be anybody. I want you to ask them this question. When they think of you, what 3 characteristics come to mind? When they think of you, what 3 characteristics come to mind? You can do this 2 ways. You could say, what physical characteristics come to mind? Like, what do you think of me other than Scentsy, right? That's what people used to say. When you think of me, what 3 words come to mind? It can't be Scentsy. You can freaking post it on social media. It doesn't matter. But I want you to ask people that, okay? I want you to ask people, what 3 characteristics come to mind, okay? So you could do physically characteristics and you could do like heart characteristics. What characteristics come to mind? And this is going to help you figure out how to be your most authentic self if you're having a hard time doing that, okay? So going back to, what did I say? Who you are on the outside. So doing that little, not experiment, doing that little exercise, who you are on the inside. So your heart check, okay? And then reaching out to 3 or 4 of your closest people and asking them what 3 characteristics come to mind when you think of me, okay? And I want you to not only take that to heart, because, sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit. We don't give ourselves enough credit that, wow, we really can achieve whatever we set our minds to, just being ourselves. Because I'm going to tell you right now, where I am with Scentsy, I never thought that I would be leaving teaching. I never thought that this would be my full-time gig. And it is, because I simply believed in myself. So it can be whatever you want it to be, but it starts with you, and it starts with being authentically you. Okay? So, homework, get that done. And I actually, when you guys figure it out, if you guys want to share it in this group, Mallory, I hope that's okay. I know you just hopped on. Do it. But I am also doing that. I asked a couple people earlier. So I hope this was helpful. I hope that you guys are really learning this week how to be authentic, how to authentically brand, and that you just really hit the ground running and are ready for fall and winter, because I'm so excited for what is to come. July has been amazing. We work for an amazing company, and just so blessed to be able to speak with you all. Thank you so much for having me, and have a wonderful night and an even better week. Bye, guys.